Greetings, YouTube. Some of you might remember I did a video a while back about my position on whether animated undead and unintelligence, zombies and skeletons, should or should not be considered inherently evil. And I still get comments on that thread. And I got one not that long ago, and it got me thinking again about the whole process. And I have finally arrived at something I think is a clarification of my thoughts. And it comes down to two things. Now, the first is the reason I don't like the way the game handles the automatic assumption that skeletons and zombies are evil, because it's inconsistent. Now, why do I say it's inconsistent? Well, the negative plane is not evil. It has no alignment. And negative energy is not evil. It has no alignment. And yet, if you animate a corpse with that energy, suddenly the corpse becomes evil. To me, that is a glaring bit of inconsistency, and I really, really don't like that. Now, I understand why they did this, why they slapped the evil descriptor onto the Animate Dead spell. It's because they want to discourage player characters from raising skeletons and zombies and using them in the game. I get this. They want people to be heroes. I understand that. But 3rd edition used role transparency, which is something I endorse. And that is anything that an NPC can do, a PC can do. I like that idea. And one of the simplest ways of solving this problem was just say that PCs can't raise dead. It's only things that, evil necromancers do it, the NPCs. But that would have annoyed a lot of people, and it would have been inconsistent with the overall role transparency that the game has. They could have made the negative plane evil and the positive plane good. I don't know if that would have screwed something else up elsewhere or not, but at least it would have made it consistent. But they didn't do that. But when I started pondering this again, I finally hit on the best example of how this is inconsistent. And that would be the Warlock. There is a lesser invocation that a chaotic good Warlock can use at 6th level, known as the Dead Walk. It allows the Warlock to animate bones or a corpse and turn them into either a skeleton or a zombie. This is an at-will ability. If the Warlock does not provide a material component, the raised dead disintegrates in 1 minute per caster level. So if you're 6th level, 6 minutes after you raise the skeleton or zombie, it crumbles into dust. Which is fine for your average battle if you're just going to animate one of the bad guys and have him go beat up his former allies. But if you want to put the components into it, you can make that a permanent skeleton or zombie up to your control limit. Now, a chaotic good Warlock can do this at will, which means 14,400 times a day and never, ever call their alignment into question. That right there, folks, is inconsistency, and it gets right under my craw. But the second reason is a personal and more of a philosophical reason. Corpses, prior to being animated into skeletons or zombies, used to be people. And when the rules say that a zombie or a skeleton is inherently evil, my brain is making the connection that they are saying that the people that those skeletons or zombies used to be are inherently evil. And I will fight you tooth and claw against the concept that anyone has ever been inherently evil. It's why I don't use racial alignments in my games. Cultural alignments, okay, this culture is sort of not lawful evil, okay, got it. But the individual members in it do not have the lawful evil alignment. They just may have a tendency in that direction because that is the culture they were raised in. I was raised in a conservative household. I am a bleeding heart liberal progressive. Alright? Where you end up is a lot different sometimes than from where you start. So when I see that inherent evil descriptor, it makes me feel as though I am being told that that individual is inherently evil. And I finally arrived at this because I realized the absurdity for me was that I don't care if magic items are evil. You tell me that a sword's evil, I'm like, okay, sword's evil. So it suddenly occurred to me, a sword doesn't have an intelligence, doesn't make decisions, neither does a skeleton or zombie. So why was I not upset about the sword, but why does this whole concept about skeletons and zombies get to me? And that's the reason. Because it seems to be implying, incorrectly probably, this is my interpretation of it, implying that the people are evil. And I cannot deal with that on a ethical, moral, philosophical level. It gets to me. So in my games, zombies and skeletons that are not, they have no intelligence, are not evil. They're just shambling animated objects. That's it. They are tools, just like that sword I mentioned earlier. So that's the way I always handle it, and it will probably always how I do handle it. But at least now I have a much better understanding about why the whole inherent evil thing bugs me so much. One, because of the horribly inconsistent rules written over the course of the years by the game designers at Wizards of the Coast. And the second, because I do not like the idea that anyone, even as implied in a fantasy game, is inherently evil.